how is a YouTube comment conversation war? Like, at all. It's up to you. Do you see it as war? Do you see it as, quote, guarding for Allah? Do you see it as jihad of the pen, as you're trying to steer away from questions that seem to show Islam in a bad light no matter how you respond? It's up to you. You mean to tell me that you don't know the requisites for war in Islam? You tried to make me seem dishonest for doubting your level of knowledge and saying you didn't know much. And no, I don't see it as war. Read the life of the Prophet to see what war is. Or read what the Quran says about it. War is deceit. Quote, war is deceit, end quote. Question, why would I lie about God or Islam? And to you, of all people, what exactly would I be guarding? Quote, guarding, unquote. If I were going to lie, would I say, quote, oh no, Islam don't allow slavery, unquote. Or something like that. Rather, I said it's most certainly allowed in Islam. And the modern world for sure don't like that. You keep accusing me of lying. What exactly do you think I'm lying about? I'm sure you feel free to say, quote, Islam allows for slavery, unquote, because the Bible allows for slavery, but when it says, quote, forbidden to you are married women except those whom your right hand possess, sex with your slave women, which would null and void or at least ease African American right at the time the U.S. had slavery, then you perform taqqiya and say, no, what the U.S. was far worse than that means, quote, if she consents or something like that. Performing bid'ah, adding to the Quran. You're actually adding to the Quran, doing bid'ah. I didn't deny the verses at all. You are the one adding to the Quran. That's not what the bid'ah means, by the way. Nice try though. By adding what it means, sex or rape, or whenever I showed proof in the verse, says themselves showing that, quote, showing that marriage was the topic discussed. You ignored that. How is defending Islam in speech at all like war? War is clearly defined in Islam. War is war. Fighting, killing, and being killed. And how is, quote, war is deception, unquote, free license to lie for Muslims, especially in the face of the deception and war in Bible? Give me one example of the Sahaba, or someone using deception outside of a combat type situation, or something that supports your idea that somehow a conversation is war. Give me some text that says I could view it as war. What war is clear. It depends on what a Muslim view of. I tell you, it depends on what a Muslim views as jihad, doesn't it? If you think jihad is killing and dying for Allah, this isn't going to seem like war to you. If, however, you view jihad as, quote, inner struggle, then you could see this as war as you do your jihad of the pen. Of course, thanks to taqqiya, one can't tell which way you truly view this dialogue. What you presented about Islam wasn't true. And I'm not lying. I do think you lied when you said you studied much. Because you know so little about the basic Islamic concepts that had you done so, you would ensure, without question, no casual, or not so either, you were much less even than a casual studier. Or that was less than true. Until you present evidence of where I've lied, I've got to think you're performing taqqiya, thanks to Muhammad saying, quote, war is deceit. As I presented before, you claim that you studied for all these years and years. Doesn't match up with reality, in my opinion, and I gave my evidence. I demonstrated your ignorance pretty well. I feel. I also feel you intentionally ignore Quranic verses at times. Again, what did I present about Islam that wasn't true? The nature of taqqiya. What the Quran says in Surah 9. The Islamic stance on treatment of slaves. Marriage the status of Sunnah with today's Muslims, so on and so forth. How do I not know you aren't performing taqqiya by saying that taqqiya means that, instead of lying for Allah like one gets when reading Quran 3 verse 28? Why don't you get off your lazy butt and do some actual research on taqqiya instead of just insulting my integrity? Believe me, I tried. Taqqiya basically is, quote, lying for Allah, unquote, adding credence to Quran 16:106 and 3:28. That not only allow for lying, but in 3:28 tell the Muslim he can only be friends outwardly toward the Christians and Jews, not inwardly or be cut off from Allah. That to me is pure taqqiya. Any denying of this is taqqiya. Please provide your source to support your claim that 16:106. How does that make me a liar? And 3:28. How is a compromise of word related to us here? And as I said before, check an Arabic English dictionary. If you don't believe me, 3:28 does not say Khalil, friend. Rather, it said Aliyah, a close protecting ally. Friendship is not the topic at hand. As I said, check for yourself. How is a verse about politics linked to us interpersonally? It doesn't apply. And I dang sure ain't scared of you. Okay, well, 16:106 doesn't make you a liar. It just makes it so what you say is suspected of lying. Well, that in Quran 3:28 that says you can only be a friend of Christians and Jews outwardly, not inwardly, thus forced hypocrisy on the Muslim. Plus, quote, war is deceit, end quote. Or do you not believe the hadithic saying, or, quote, we smile for some while inside we curse those same people? Hypocrisy again. It's not your fault. It makes it hard for me to believe you if you are telling the truth due to Islam. Quote, let non-believers take disbelievers as allies rather than believers, and whoever of you does that has nothing with Allah except when taking precaution against their imprudence. And Allah warns you of Himself, and Allah is the final destination. Quote. Where is the command to lie? All this verse seems to cover is your intention in taking allies reluctantly to avoid harm. Also, how is this verse linked to us? How is this a command to lie to every kafir I meet? What does, quote, except when taking precaution against them, imprudence mean to you? It means, quote, except when taking precaution against them, imprudence, unquote. I do not add anything to the verse. It says, you do. There's not a command for any of the things you say. I wouldn't do it unless it was prudent and a precaution against harm. That's all. I don't add all these meanings that aren't in the text like you do. Well, thanks to, quote, war is deceit, thanks to Quran 3:28 and Quran 16:106, and, quote, verily we smile for some people, while our hearts curse those same people. Sahih al-Bukhari, verse 4, page 45, publishers, Uthmania, Egypt. That Abu al-Darda said he heard the Prophet. Well, hey, no one, including your fellow Mohammedans, will ever be able to tell if you are being truthful or not. Dude, I just responded to that and show that it doesn't refer to what you say. Please read my replies and refer to them in replies. As I said, in each case, deception and war, still they always spoke the truth. Besides, what does that have to do with us here? And the second part was on totally different topic altogether, and was about manners, not deception. Read it. Also, deception in war is biblical even, like in the case of Ehud and Eglon, for example. By that token, I call you a liar. By that token, I can call you liar all day long. A lot of men of God in the Bible lied. But where was it in the Bible that God told them to lie? The Bible says, quote, thou shalt not lie. Abraham told his wife to perform a half-truth. to not let it known that his wife, that she was his wife. But again, where did God say, lie, Abraham, lie to save your life? Perform Quran 6106 and deny me if you want. Save your life. Where does it say that? He doesn't respond.